Hi, I'm Regan Schaefer, and I'm a professor here at Pepperdine, and I have been on a couple of Let's Start Talking teams and have helped train numerous teams through the years for mission work. I think it's definitely a journey that you don't take alone. You know, our biblical example is that Jesus always sent out his disciples in pairs, or he surrounded himself with a team of people. I think it's very biblical for many, many reasons because of the unique challenges that you'll experience when you go and do this incredibly important work. So, a couple of things that I would like to share with you is that I've had both positive and negative experiences with teams, and you will too. It's inevitable. You're working with people. So I think that I want to encourage you to be open to this and not be ignorant in thinking that you won't have challenges with one another. You will. So first of all, my first admonition would be that you need to try to find ways, and sometimes you will have to try, to love your teammates. I think the Bible talks about love one another all throughout, and I think that if you can find that common bond of what you're doing and let that be the focus, it will help you to not be so irritated by the unique traits that might make you crazy with a team. I will say, though, that you also need to recognize that this is ministry, and that includes ministering to your team. And so that means that your needs do not come first, but your team members come first. You need to be a servant leader. And I will say that the biggest challenges I've had on any team I've been on is when one individual starts to focus on themselves more than the work. And so consequently, they are concerned about the difficulties we're having. They don't like the food, they don't like the setup, they don't like that they're tired, they don't like that it's difficult, and now they're going to make everyone else's life difficult. That is very selfish, and it's going to undermine the success of the team. I've had a situation before where all our efforts suddenly had to be turned to this person and taking care of this person, and the work that we were doing was neglected because of this. And I think that's at a time when Satan makes the focus on the self rather than on the team. And I've been in another situation before where someone lost sight of the purpose of the mission. That our purpose at the time was very focused, and yet they got on site and wanted to do something completely different. And though they vetted it with the team and asked us about it, when we all said, that's not our purpose, that's not what we're trained here for, that's not what the missionaries asked us to do, he still had his own idea. And that, again, undermined the work, undermined the relationship with the missionaries, and ultimately was destructive. And I have to say, it's very hurtful. And I think that our goal is not to be hurtful, but instead to lift up. So instead, I would encourage you to, as you prepare to go, be very thoughtful in prayer about this, to try to establish an environment where you talk about expectations very clearly. What do you expect from each other? How are you going to live and work together? What is your day-to-day life going to be like together? You also have to spend time together before you get on site. You have got to be together, go and not just have meals together, but training together, but just be very honest and open with each other. Talk about your life. Find ways that you can really prompt some reflective conversations about what are your own challenges and obstacles. Help yourself become more self-aware, but also to help people anticipate, as simple things for me, I have to eat, I have to sleep. Those are my two. If I don't get food, I get really grumpy. If I don't sleep, I get really grumpy. Well, that doesn't mean I have that as an excuse, but just even small things like that to the biggies that, sometimes going and doing mission work is very challenging personally. And so can you set up a system where every day you have an opportunity to worship together, debrief together, really check in with each other so you have each other's back. But also that you can say, this is really making me irritated that this is happening, or I'm sensing this frustration, or I've noticed that you don't seem interested in the work anymore. You have to create an environment where you can have honest conversations. So, this is a pilgrimage journey. You are going to be transformed not only by the work that you're doing, but by the team that you work with. And so I still look back on all the teams that I've been on through the years, and I love them. I love those people. They are terrific. And some I keep in touch with now, others not so much. When we're back together, we are still bonded by the common belief that Christ can change our lives, that God can do anything. And I think if you can keep that focus, it makes you realize how small these problems are, and instead you focus on the big and amazing work that God can provide for you. So I think you really need to examine your heart. You have to go with the idea that you are not in this alone. Ministry is never a solo effort. It is always a team effort. And if that is your philosophy, then you know that you are equipped and that God's going to send you an amazing team to go with. So that is my suggestion to you.